What's up, everyone? Art and Brian from Patience Metal Fab, and you catch us in Brian's BMW, which is really nice, by the way. Like the black interior.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. But we've got another Brian behind us. If you guys have been watching the Renault Group B series that we're doing, in the last episode, we put the car in the trailer to get it over to blasting and then eventual epoxy, get that thing cleaned up before it comes back to our shop. So we're en route to the same place that we dropped Brian's S13 off about 6 weeks ago or so. They did a really great job on that.
I thought they did pretty well.
Yep, so we recommended them. What are the two shop names?
Blastmaster and Shakopee, and Creative Image and Shakopee.
Yeah, right next door, essentially. So they're awesome. I'll put links in the descriptions for their websites in case you guys are local and you're looking to get some of the same stuff done. They do a great job. After they're all done with the blasting and the epoxy, it's going to come back to our shop looking all fresh and clean, and then we can get started on the cage reassembly. We broke all the tacks, so it's all pre-cut and ready to get welded in. We just have to reassemble, essentially. And then there's a lot of stuff that is going to take place after that. We need to do the pedal box assembly. Brian is going to get a large shipment of things from France that we're going to have to unbox and figure out where they fit. Fuel cell, what other stuff we get, suspension, transmission. And that's when we start putting the puzzle pieces back together. That's gonna be really fun. So definitely stick around for this video. Brian's giving the blaster a bit of a rundown on that car because there's a couple nuances. One of them is the aluminum panel roof. It is very, very thin. You can push it in with your finger, and that means that the blasting media could damage it. So he's got to be really careful with that top portion. Now on the underside, you have undercoating that we need to take off that's very thick, and so he's going to have to use some heavy media, but be careful around the rest of the bodywork.
3 days later.
I just got a phone call with some good and bad news about the Renault. The good news is it's all wrapped up and ready to get picked up, so I'm making my way over to the blasting shop where it's at right now to help Brian load it up in his trailer. Then it's back to PMF and the guys can get started on it again. The bad news is today's Monday. The guys actually came in over the weekend to do the coating on it, and so I wasn't able to grab any of that footage. The next time you see it, it's all going to be finished up. But we were there a few months back with Brian's S13 getting epoxy, and I was able to get some footage of that. So I'm going to splice it in. You guys can kind of see the process and imagine it's the Renault. And then I'll show you the final result when we're there in about 5 minutes or so. There you have it. The chassis is clean enough to eat off of. I got to give the guys at Creative Cars a shout out, and also Blastmaster. They did a really good job at getting this thing stripped down, getting it coated, and giving us a really good foundation to build up from. So now the hard part is just getting it loaded up in that trailer with only a couple of guys, getting it back to the shop, seeing what the fabricators think, and then having them get started on it again. got back from SEMA a couple days ago. If you guys haven't seen the video for that, I'm gonna put a little link up in this so you can check it out. And it looks like Max has already gotten started on the Group B car since it came back from epoxy. A couple of the parts were dropped off that we did an unboxing on, so we've got the fenders just loosely mocked up to see what we need to do as far as mounting. Looks like he's already cut into the body for the tilt-in pedals. There's a lot more work to be done there, so I'm gonna capture that. But right now he's doing the little things, so basically fixing all of the rust that we've had on this car, which wasn't a lot, but there were spots here, in the back. The metal was kind of bent up and there was a bit of rust and corrosion in here. So we've cut out all those spots, and now it's kind of the arduous task of welding in panels one by one and doing it the right way, not just welding it in, causing a bunch of heat and warpage and then slapping Bondo over it. At the end of this, we want to be able to have this as bare metal, nice and flat, so you can't even tell where we welded the pieces in. Gary and Max are over there talking about the template that Max created for that rear piece. That's one of the biggest things that needs to get welded in, and there's gonna be some brakes on and some custom metal fabrication that needs to take place. I think I'm gonna end the episode here, have them do this off camera, and then I'll show you the end result in the next episode. And that one's gonna be a really exciting one because we're gonna start reassembling it. I know the headliner is getting back this week, so we're gonna be putting that up, and that's what was holding off the cage, the final welding on it, till now, essentially. Once we have that in, we can tack the cage back in and do full welding, and that'll make for a really exciting episode. So stick around, subscribe to the page if you're not already, like this video, share it around with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one.